We just made it to our Azure standard drop-off point for our bulk food that we get. I've probably collectively used them for about a year. This stop is kind of in the middle of nowhere. I think they said they have like 43 people that come to this stop. How they do it is that they have these buckets lined up here. Your name is on one side of the bucket. Everyone helps collectively pull it off the truck. It's kind of fun. It's a community type feeling. You don't really see these people very often, just like once a month if you come every month, which we don't. If you haven't heard of Azure Standard, what they are is a bulk company that delivers bulk foods or a lot of organic things, but they don't have to be organic, and they'll deliver plants, all sorts of things. And what they do is they have these co-op drops. They have a truck show up and everyone helps unload the truck. At this drop especially, everyone is helping everyone take stuff down. A pulley. Yeah, a pulley. And what happens is they'll read the name to you, you take the name, they have a whole list of names, and you drop the box by that person's name, and then after the whole truck is done, you load up your personal things and then you go. Some things are cost effective and some things aren't. I tried to do research on local bulk places like Winco Foods maybe, or a couple other places that sell bulk. I try to compare their prices before I make the order, but some things are definitely cheaper this way. I'm at my house, the kids are down for bed, so I thought I would run over what I got from Azure Standard. If you've never ordered from them and you do make an order, when you unload things from the truck, it can feel like you're not getting enough things. And that's because they will reuse boxes. All of these things right here were in one box. If you go to check your order or you're going to leave, you feel like you don't have enough of your stuff, you should have more items, open up your box and you'll see. But I thought I would run through some of the things that I got. Right here I have spices and seasonings. So this is thyme. I meant to get a way smaller one, but they were out. We do use thyme a lot in soups and things like that. It will get used, it's a lot. It looks like a lot. Paprika, and we use this a lot as well. Garlic powder, onion powder. That may seem like a lot when you're looking at it, but try to remember that we just got back from traveling, and so our pantry is completely empty. We don't have anything, like any of the things that you would accumulate over the years. We've been stateside for a couple months, so some things. Next, I have these mason jar spares because I have a lot of mason jars, and then I decided that I would use this for my vinegar. I use vinegar in most of my cleaning. These are lids to these gallon, woo, can I get them out one-handed? These are gallon jars. I decided to try some sweet sorghum. I like to make my own granola and things like that, and though I don't mind getting maple syrup, I'm always trying to find like a more budget-friendly thing for things like granola because of how much I make, and maybe even to sweeten the oats in the morning. I haven't done a whole lot of research into whether or not this is actually a healthy alternative. It was really inexpensive compared to like agave or maple syrup. Compared to the syrup, it was actually economical. 5 pounds of organic white quinoa and 5 pounds of brown lentils. Organic is not necessarily important to me, but if it is important to you and you're ordering from Azure, most of their options have an organic version. I am trying to be more budget friendly than I am trying to be organic. See, this one happens to be organic. They didn't have any non-GMO dates from what I remember, or they were sold out. So these are diced dates coated in oat flour, and I use these inside of my granola. 5 pounds of garbanzo beans. This is the first time I've ordered frozen food from Azure Standard, and now thinking about it, it makes a lot of sense. But when I opened up an entire thing of blackberries, I was a little bit shocked that they are not actually packaged, so I will need to go through and put them in, I mean, I guess I don't have to, but I will probably put them in smaller bags so they're more manageable. This one is 5 pounds of raspberries, and I got these pieces because they were less expensive. And in my mind, I was like, I can't think of a situation in which I would need whole raspberries. Most of the time I'm putting them in smoothies. And it was like a price difference between whole raspberries and pieces. So just little funny things to pay attention to when you're shopping at Azure Standard. That's an easy way of cutting a little bit of cost. You may go in and naturally go for whole raspberries and not even look at the raspberry pieces. They were a lot less expensive. If you have any questions about an Azure Standard order, how it works or anything, just leave your questions down in the comments, because I really support this company. Here where I live right now, it's not as important because in California they do have like Winco Foods, places where you can get bulk foods that we were living there. It really saved our butts. It isn't as cheap as some things, and there are some things that I buy at Winco that even though it's a drive for me, it is cheaper per pound. But I go into the local Winco and I'll take pictures of their bulk bins so that I can see their price per pound before I make my Azure order. I went to Winco maybe a month or two ago and I took pictures of everything that I would normally buy in bulk. Then when I went to make my Azure order, I had the price per pound next to me when I was making my order, so that if something was wildly like less expensive one way or the other, I would make that choice. There were a couple things that kind of worked out the same, but I was already making the order. I know that Azure is not always cost effective. There are some things that are more expensive. A lot of times it's because like certain things are organic and you don't necessarily need to get organic. If you're in an area that has a bulk food section, chances are, like a Winco Foods or something, chances are you can probably beat Azure Standard's price. It helps I just keep an album of my bulk food prices because they don't tend to change that much. I haven't noticed my bulk food prices, if I take pictures of them, will change a lot from month to month, maybe over the years, but just like, it would take a lot for it to change that drastically in a short period of time. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful to you in some way. See you next time.